Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 1645. Today I'm back in my hometown, San Diego. Here we go.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
Hello, inspiring automotive enthusiasts, and welcome to Cars Yeah. I'm revved up and very excited because I'm back in my hometown, San Diego, California, talking to a very special guest by the name of Lenny Leszczynski. Lenny, welcome to Cars Yeah.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Are you buckled up and ready for a fun ride?
I absolutely am, and I can't wait to go on a journey.
All right, we'll have a little bit of fun here. Before we dive into the questions, I want to ask you this. What's one little thing that maybe most people don't know about you?
That when I was growing up, I never envisioned myself running a museum.
Okay. Well, I read a little bit in your bio, and I'll explain what Lenny does there in San Diego with the San Diego Automotive Museum. But it turns out Lenny and I grew up in the same city. We both grew up in beautiful La Jolla, California. And one of the things I read was that when you were little, you used to go to Balboa Park. My parents took us there every Sunday after church. We would either go to the zoo or we'd go to the park and sit and have a picnic or go to the museums. And one of them was the San Diego Automotive Museum. So is that where the spark kind of started for you? And did you ever dream that you'd end up doing what you're doing?
Yeah, I like you. When I was a kid, I came to the park. We spent most of our time on the other end, though, at the carousel and at the zoo, and every once in a while we'd make our way over here to the Automotive Museum. And I grew up thinking I was going to be a teacher, and I had a very successful career with the YMCA, doing camps and working with youth. I actually never envisioned myself until probably 2 or 3 years ago going, hey, I can really do more outside of working with kids. And I actually did a career shift, and this is where I landed. I'm actually ecstatic that I got to join my passion for cars and run a museum now.
Pretty cool. I mean, it's very, very cool. And having grown up in San Diego and spent so much time in that beautiful park and the zoo, of course, we had zoo memberships, so we went there all the time. Kind of funny that our paths align and we both are passionate about cars. Let me give a proper introduction to Lenny. Lenny Leszczynski is the executive director at the San Diego Automotive Museum. He brings more than 25 years of nonprofit professional experience to the museum, including more than 15 years of developing, managing, and reporting budgets for community programs and over 10 years of fundraising experience. Born and raised in San Diego, as I said, he has a degree in child and adolescent development from CSUN and a master's in business management and leadership. One of Lenny's many goals and a commitment to San Diego is to enhance the guest experience and make the San Diego Auto Museum the home of all cars and motorcycle enthusiasts, particularly those who are San Diego locals. We'll be back in a minute to talk more with Lenny, but first a word from our very valued sponsors. Please give them a listen, and we'll be right back. The best way to protect your vehicles is with a Covercraft custom-fit car cover. I know because I've been using their covers on my vehicles since 1975. Plus, they offer a multitude of options depending on your situation. Indoor covers include form fit, dust stop, the oh-so-soft fleece satin, and their very unique View Shield, a cover that protects while allowing you to see your favorite vehicle while the cover's on your car. Amazing. Need a cover that will protect your ride outside? Their incredible options allow you to choose from Weather Shield, Sunbrella, Weather Shield HD, Block It, Reflect, Carhartt, Evolution, Nova, and Weather Shield HP. So many options. Whether you're looking for rain protection, UV shielding from the sun's damaging rays, breathability, dust protection, snow protection, even ding protection, and protection from those paint-destroying bird droppings, they've got you covered. Their soft touch covers are safe for your paint, and the custom fit keeps them from blowing off. If you live in a windy area, get the Covercraft Gust Guards. They're a must-have if your car sits outside in windy conditions. Worried about theft? They have cable locks too, with built-in grommets that keep your cover safely on your vehicle. Their website makes ordering fast and easy, and their talented customer service department will walk you through any ordering questions. They can customize a cover for almost any vehicle on the planet. And I've got a deal for you. If you use the code YEAH120 at covercraft.com, you'll get 10% off your Covercraft order. That's right. So go to covercraft.com, use the code YEAH, YEAH 120 at checkout, and get 10% off on me, Mark here at Cars Yeah. Covercraft, they've got you covered. American Collectors Insurance, that's who now protects my Porsche Turbo. Yeah, the one I call my Orange Crush. When it came time to renew my policy, my carrier jacked my rates up, even though I'd been with them for years. I'd never made a claim. No tickets, nothing. What's with that? Adios. So I started shopping around and kept hearing about American Collectors Insurance from fellow automotive enthusiasts, friends, and folks in the car industry. I did some investigating and learned that American Collectors Insurance have been protecting collector vehicles since 1976. I'm not a price shopper when it comes to insurance. I want to be able to sleep at night. I also want agreed value protection for my special ride. With an agreed valued policy from American Collectors Insurance, I'll be paid what my vehicle's full agreed value is, a number I set with the insurer at the start of the policy so I know there will be no surprises about what my car's value is, should something terrible happen. I shopped around and decided to protect my car with American Collectors Insurance. Give them a call for a quote today at 866-ACI-YEAH, that's 866-224-9324, and protect the ones you love. Make sure you tell them Mark sent you. You'll be glad you did. American Collectors Insurance. Classic car insurance designed by collectors for collectors. All right, Lenny, we're back, and I want to start with a success quote or a mantra that has some meaning for you, some kind of guiding light for your life. So I like to say it's a nice way to get the wheels turning here on Cars Yeah. So Lenny, grab the wheel.
Yeah. One of the quotes that I've stuck with my entire life is never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed individuals can change the world. For that's who ever has. For indeed, that's the only thing that ever has changed. And that was by Margaret Mead. I paraphrased it there.
Yeah.
But I thoroughly believe that change and everything comes from a group of individuals. And if you are committed to it, you can get it done.
Well, absolutely. And especially when you think about a museum. Now, I've had many directors, curators of some spectacular museums from all over the world here on Cars Yeah. And one of the things that they all talk about is the importance of the people that help, that come and work for free, basically, the volunteers that come to the museum, along with the people that work at the museum who are paid. Does that relate pretty directly to what you're doing now at this, I'll say, a new surprise job at a museum, since you never thought you'd be doing this, to have that small community working together to make the museum a great experience?
Yeah, we couldn't do it without all the docents and the individuals that we have on staff. I mean, we're very small staffed and 6 individuals here, and then we have 50 volunteers. So really, really thankful for our docents that come in and talk about the cars and really bring the cars to life and telling their stories. It's really fun to be involved and listen to them engage everybody that walks through our front doors.
Oh, yeah. These are special people. I'm about 15, 20 minutes away from the LeMay Museum that's in Tacoma. I'm over the bridge in Gig Harbor. And I know all the people there, and I've interviewed all of them, at least the people that are on the paid staff. But they always talk so highly of all these folks. And I always tell people, when you retire and you're looking for something to do, maybe you're not into cars, maybe you're into art. It doesn't matter. All of these museums in all of our cities, they need help, and they need volunteers, people that can help them. And there's some really wonderful ways to share your passion with the people that come in, and you might spark a little bit of a flame in some young person's eye who becomes a fellow enthusiast. Well, I want to talk more about what you've learned and what your goals are there at the San Diego Automotive Museum. And I know that you're kind of gearing up for a car rally here on October 10th. Tell us about that.
Yeah, with social distancing and everything that came up recently, we had to switch gears. Our gala that's usually indoors and it's a nice dinner and auction items and things like that. But with social distancing, I figured we don't know what we're going to look like in October when we normally do that. So we pivoted to a car rally. And I've got to say, we've gotten tremendous feedback from our local car enthusiasts and industry leaders here in San Diego. King's has come on as our Grand Marshal. The Vault, which is a really cool place for car enthusiasts to get together, and it does a great job storing cars. And O'Gara, it sells cars, and then Saquon and Precious Metals. I mean, these guys have come together for the museum and said, hey, we're going to help raise money for the museum in this difficult time of COVID. I mean, we had to shut our doors, and we're fighting a $250,000, almost $300,000 shortfall over the last couple months. And this is really going to be awesome. We have Saquon, which is going to be our destination. We'll be doing lunches for everybody that shows up. It's really going to be awesome. 150 cars, and everybody that has been signing up has been excited, and we are over the moon about doing our first car rally here at the museum, rather than just a annual dinner, just kind of hitting the road, getting the wheels turning there.
Well, I've got to think people, there's so much pent-up angst from all of us being on lockdown here, and especially car people, Cars and Coffees being canceled, Concours events, all of these events. I usually come down for the La Jolla Concours, and that was canceled just like everything else. Tell me a little bit more about this rally. First and foremost, if somebody is in the San Diego area or they want to go to the San Diego area and take part in this, where do they go? How do they sign up?
Yeah, really easy sign up. Go to San Diego Automotive Museum.org. That's actually sdautomotivemuseum.org/rally, and the information's there. We have two options for people. They can enter as a $50 entry. That's going to come with the swag bag. It's going to come with a lunch. It's going to come with a player's card for the casino, some other tchotchkes that we're going to get in there. And then if you do the $90 option, you're going to get 2 T-shirts on top of the $50 package. Plus, you're going to get 2 memberships here to the museum. And it's for you and one passenger. So, if you really think about it, it's $25 a person or $45 a person. Yeah. And then if you have, if you have one of those sedans and you've got more than 2 people in your car, you can just upgrade the lunches, and we'll make sure that they get fed while they're there. And if you're not looking to participate in the actual rally and the drive, and you just want to come see some really cool cars, we are going to be out at Saquon on the 5th floor on October 10th, and we should be done with the rally and getting up over there at about noon. So it'd be a good time if people want to come down and check out some old classics or some modern exotics that are going to be joining us. The rally's really open for everybody, and we're super excited about it.
Oh, no kidding. Now, Saquon, help me, because it's been a long time since I lived in San Diego. Is that a casino?
Yeah, it's a casino out here, and it's about a 45-minute drive from Balboa Park.
Cool.
And we're going to be making a stop at JBA Auto Racing, so you can check out some really cool muscle cars and check out their operation. And then we're going to swing by the vault and check out what they've got going on. And then Kings, as our Grand Marshal, is going to lead us up to Saquon. So it's going to be about an hour and a half drive, maybe 2-hour adventure as we make our way to our final destination. And then it's going to be lunch and music and having a great time.
Oh, it sounds great. Now, you're also raffling off a Dodge Cornet. Is that right?
Yep. We've got a 1968 Dodge Cornet that's been rebuilt, and it's a tribute car. It came with, I think, a 383, and we've got the 440 in it now.
Ooh, nice.
And it's another one. Now, the raffle's a little bit different. It started off with the rally, but it's not going to end until December. So people that would like to take part in that, it's going to be $100 a ticket, and up to 3,500 tickets will be sold and no more. And so you have a 1 in 3,500 chance if we sell all the tickets to win that car. It's been in the museum. I love it. I'm not allowed to drive it anymore because, it's going to be somebody else's. Now we want to take care of it. But beforehand, I got to get in that thing and drive it around to different shows, and I have had a fabulous time running around San Diego, and it's a head turner and gets a lot of attention at the shows.
No doubt. Now, can anybody, let's say anybody in the United States or even the world, can they go to the website and buy tickets to see if they get lucky?
Yeah, it's interesting, the California rules on raffles. So technically anybody can buy it. They have to download the form from our webpage, fax it back to us because we can't do any of the online transactions. And then all the paperwork and everything has to be done here in California. That's just the way the rules and regulations with the great state of California here. And other than that, anybody can do it.
There you go. Well, I'll make sure I put links to that on Lenny's show notes page here at the Cars Yeah website. so you can go check it out. You never know. Throw in $100. If you don't win, you've done something nice for the museum. You've helped them out, and that's not a bad thing. But you might win the car. You never know. And then you'd be very cool. You can fly into California, pick that thing up, and drive it home. That'd be kind of fun. Well, tell us more about the San Diego Automotive Museum. I've been there many times. Last time I was there was last year when I was in the rally tour for the La Jolla Concours. I got to spend a day driving in a 1932 Bentley. It was absolutely spectacular. And we stopped at the museum and got to walk through it. I didn't get to spend nearly enough time because we were on a schedule, but tell our listeners what they'd expect to see if they go to the San Diego Automotive Museum.
Oh, you get a unique experience here. What's really awesome about this museum, we rotate our exhibits every 4 months. So half of the museum is dedicated to a different exhibit every 4 months. Right now, we happen to be doing our 70s show, and with the COVID-19 pandemic happening, we've actually extended it. And what we've done is we've swapped 70s cars. So anybody that came right before COVID shut us down can come back and experience different 70s cars. And we really tell the story of what was going on in the 70s. We talk about the oil crisis and how we went from these big luxurious cars with big motors and these compact cars hit the scene, and why that's important, how Japan was really ready for that and it caught America off guard, and tell that story of how society changed and everything, the culture changed around cars. You learn about that during half of our museum is dedicated to that. The other half is going to be our more permanent collection. We've got some great cars down there. We have a Vizzarini. It's one of 3 in the world. A lot of people will tell you it's one of them because it's the only one of the 3 that has a Lamborghini motor in it.
Whoa.
We've got the Louis Matar vehicle. It's an old Cadillac. Good Louis there. Fixed it up as a camper's delight. Just got everything. It's got a 50-gallon shower. You talk about awesome car just to check out. It's probably take you a good hour just to look at it all, everything he's got going on in there.
Cool.
And then we rotate different cars from the community. Right now we have Carl Berger, one of the dealers here. We have his 92 Viper sitting down there on the floor. And we'll have that there for a couple of years, and we're honored to do that. So we like to tell the stories of how culture and society impacted the car world and how the cars of each era is kind of a capsule of that time frame.
Absolutely. And you got such a great car culture there in San Diego. There's so many people with car collections and great cars and everything. So I would encourage any of you, when you go to San Diego on vacation, Balboa Park is a place you want to go. The museum is in Balboa Park. And when you're there, plan on spending a few days in Balboa Park. There's the San Diego Zoo, which is the best zoo in the planet. There's, of course, the museum, the Automotive Museum. There's an aerospace museum. There's all sorts of art museums, places to eat, walk around. It's just a beautiful, beautiful park, part of San Diego's legacy, for sure. Lenny, I like to talk a little bit about a challenge you face in your life. Maybe this is a career challenge, or it could be a personal challenge, but the more important part of this is to share it with us, but tell us what you learned so that you came out in a more positive way after that maybe not so fun experience.
Yeah, this one's difficult. You always think about things that you grow from, and
yes,
exactly what I think of. I don't think of failures as a bad thing. It's something that I can learn from, and the bigger the failure, I guess, the bigger the life lesson out of it. And sometimes I feel like I'm learning more than
you want to.
Cruising through. But,
hey, that means you're trying things really hard, Lenny. It means you're just pushing yourself. That's a good thing.
Yeah, no, it really is, and I really value learning, and learning through mistakes is okay if that's the way you got to do it. But when I was young in my career, I was overseeing some after-school programs, and we ended up losing one of our sites. What that equated to was the YMCA that I was working for lost a revenue stream of $450,000 a year. And as I look back at that and how I can carry that to where I am now, is really listening to the people who are stakeholders in what you're doing and valuing everybody's opinion, because it came from left field. I didn't think we were ever going to lose this site. I thought this was on cruise control, and I treated it as such. And when the wheels came off and, we hit the roadblock there and we lost it, I really dug deep and said, this is never going to happen, but what are the things I have to put in place? And every person, it's not just that my door is open and that's cliche, but it really is. I want people to come in. I want to go down and meet the guests. I want to get to know everybody so that I really have an understanding of where we are. And I've taken that everywhere I've gone since then. I mean, it's been 20 years since that's happened. And that's the lesson that I take, when we have people that are donating their car here or loaning us their car here. I want to know the story. Why is it? So that we can continue that. I also want to hear the bad things. What aren't we doing well so we can get better at that? That way people never think that I'm on cruise control.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to be progressive and make changes and really respond to the needs of the community. And I think if you take that approach, you're going to get a lot further in your successes.
Oh, absolutely. And those bags, those lesson learning bags, those bags full of a lot of lessons learned that we carry with us, especially sounds like somebody like you, Lenny, that took that very seriously, are heavy burdens to carry. However, you can certainly lighten the load a little bit by taking that learning lesson and reaching out to the folks, as you've said, around you, which is the most important thing to do, is ask for help, ask for advice. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate you taking us there. Let's take a short break and thank our sponsors. When we come back, I want to dive a little deeper into your personal passion for cars. A fellow San Diegan who grew up, La Jolla, that grew up in one of the most beautiful cities in the country. I want to learn a little bit more why the car culture bit you. I know why it bit me. So sit tight, keep your seatbelt on. We'll be right back. My favorite collector car magazine is Keith Martin's Sports Car Market. I've been a subscriber for decades. Sports Car Market is the Wall Street Journal for enthusiasts and collectors. It's your monthly must-read, whether you dream of owning a collector car, maybe you have 2, or maybe you've got 200. Sports Car Market has been around for 31 years, and it's filled with valuable articles, intelligent write-ups, and the latest auction sales. Go to sportscarmarket.com and subscribe today. Here's a couple deals I have for you just for listening here on Cars Yeah. If you use the checkout code Cars Yeah, you'll receive a 50% discount on your digital subscription at Sports Car Market. That's an exclusive offer from Cars Yeah. And guess what? Here's another deal. If you'd like to get the actual magazine, use the code BSH for buy, sell, hold. That's code BSH, and you'll get $10 off your annual print subscription. That's right, $10 off. Both of these are exclusive offers here at Cars Yeah for Sports Car Market magazine. Just go to sportscarmarket.com and get your deals today. Let's step away from the conversation to talk about our charity of choice here at Cars Yeah, America's Automotive Trust. America's Automotive Trust is a group of like-minded nonprofits that are working together to preserve and promote car culture across the country. Together, they provide scholarships and grants to aspiring technicians and restoration artists. They provide youth education programs and bring communities together through automotive-related events, car shows, and drives. Among those nonprofits is RPM Foundation, a terrific organization working to keep our favorite collector cars on the road. RPM was created to ensure that the specialized skills needed to care for classic automobiles, boats, and motorcycles continue to be passed down from generation to generation. They do this by supporting training for young people with a passion for restoration and setting them up with mentors who can share their valuable knowledge. So far, they've awarded more than $3.5 million to restoration education projects across 35 states. Incredible! To learn more about RPM or to donate to their mission, visit www.rpm.foundation. You'll be glad you did. Kevin Buckler is a winning racer and team owner of the Racers Group. He has over 100 professional wins, multiple wins at the 24-Hour of Daytona, and a win at Le Mans. Kevin realized the racing world is about the people and founded Adobe Road Winery. He and his team have created a winning combination with the Racing Series, 4 ultra-premium red wine blends that are in a class of their own with a racing twist. Just like in racing, these wines comprise of art, precision, engineering, science, superb taste, all blended together with a whole lot of fun. There are 4 carefully crafted blends with race-inspired names: Redline, Apex, Shift, and the 24. When you purchase all 4, you get the entire lineup in a beautifully designed gift box. There's a printed description of the blends inside the box lid, and every bottle is parked in a protective, die-cut placeholder. The bottles feature 3-dimensional labels, and I promise you'll want to keep them after enjoying these delicious wines. The box is so cool, you'll want to keep it too. The Racing Series is a killer gift for the automotive enthusiasts in your life, and I have a deal for you. If you use the code CARSYEAH, all one word, all caps, at checkout, you'll get $10 off any purchase of wine from the racing series. Your wine ships promptly and arrives quickly. Use the code CARSYEAH at checkout for $10 off on your purchase today. There's always a seat at the table for excellence with the racing series. Go to adoberoadwines.com and use the code CARSYEAH today to get your deal. Cheers. All right, we're back. I want to hear a story that instigated your personal passion for cars, Lenny, that pivotal moment in your life when you knew you were a car guy.
Yeah, it's like yesterday. This memory of mine is literally as vivid as it happened last night. My uncle, when I was like 12 or 13 years old, he drove me up to see the Peterson Museum up there in LA. And I walked in, and they were doing a lowrider show, and they had a 1964 Impala taken apart where you can see, like, the hood was off, and the wheels were out, and the trunk was up. I mean, the whole thing. I literally stood there for an hour just looking at everything. And I was amazed. It was, all the chrome was done. The paint job was immaculate. I mean, it was red. And I was just in awe. And I went around and saw some other cars, and I remember my uncle saying, oh, I really like the 1930s cars, and I really just wanted to go back to that 64 Impala, just the way it looked. And I literally was like, I have to have one of these. Like, you don't understand. Like, this is fabulous. And it was really that first, I hadn't thought about owning a car, I hadn't thought about, you know, I'm close to driving. I was almost 15, and
yeah.
You know, you get your permit and stuff. I wasn't thinking about that until I saw that car. And I went, I don't know what it is, but this car is absolutely phenomenal. And I remember it like it was yesterday. Going up the stairs, she was sitting right there, got mirrors on the ground, looking up at all the chrome.
Oh, yeah.
It was just, oh my gosh, that thing was absolutely phenomenal.
Well, it bit you pretty hard, it sounds like. What was your first really special vehicle?
Great question. I bought a 64 Impala.
There you go. It stuck with you.
Yeah, actually, it was really cool. I came home and I told my uncle, you know, I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to buy a 64 Impala. That's going to be my first car. And I got a job at 15 at the YMCA, obviously, and not obviously, but apparently. And then I got so excited, started saving money, and a friend of the family came out, Mark Henderson, and he was telling me he owned 4 1964 Impalas.
Oh, my gosh.
He has a car garage of like 20 cars. He's got his own paint booth. The guy is pretty awesome by himself with all the stuff he's got. He invited me to come out and check him out, and I flew out there with my mom. We got one-way tickets. And I got there, and he says, okay, there's something wrong with this 64 Impala. There's nothing big, but all the parts you're going to need to fix it are here in the garage. If you fix it, I'm going to sell it to you at this price. If I've got to come out and do it, I'm going to charge you the labor. You're going to have to buy it at this price.
Wow.
And he said he would finance me for it. So I was like, okay, this is awesome. I can give him some down payment. Like, okay, I got to figure out. So an oil filter and a fuel filter line, a fuel line and a fuel filter. Later, I had the car running in about 2 hours, so I had to figure it out. But once I got everything and found everything, It was up and going. And I was getting ready to drive her, and I went, there's a problem. And my mom goes, what? I said, I don't know how to drive stick shift. It was 4 on the floor, 3.7, 4 on the floor. And so I got my first lesson on driving stick shift on my way home in a 64 Impala. And we drove it from Colorado to San Diego with a stop at the Grand Canyon. And I tell you, man, the biggest regret I have is selling that car, and I'm on the hunt for another one.
Well, that's pretty cool that you got to bond with that vehicle all the way from Colorado. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And, you know, when I got it back to San Diego, all through high school, I had the car, and we had auto shop. And I loved spending time on it. I changed the transmission every time I wrecked one of those. Put the clutches in myself.
Yeah.
You know, I really learned how to be a mechanic on those cars, and I just loved driving it. I mean, looking back now, I didn't realize what I had. I took it for granted because, you know, I would have, knowing what I know now, I would never sold it. But, you know, when you get to college and it has more garage time than road time, you know, you got to change your car.
I understand. Well, I'm sure there's plenty of those out there. You can find them. Just go to Bring a Trailer and keep your eyes open. I've seen some sold there as well. So that's a good place to go. Well, here's a bit of an introspective question, Lenny. If you woke up tomorrow and you were a vehicle parked in the museum perhaps, or out in the parking lot, this isn't what you want to be. This is more how you perceive yourself manifest as a vehicle. What would Lenny be?
I think I'd be a Willys Jeep.
Oh, and why is that?
As odd as that might be. They're a versatile vehicle, and I consider myself versatile. They're very dependable. You get them going, get them cranking, and they're going to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
They're no thrills, no fuss, no muss, but you can count on them to be there. They're going to do the job, and that's kind of how I am.
Nice.
And I think the Swiss Army knife of vehicles, and that's kind of how I approach life. So I think the Willys Jeep would be my pick on that.
All right. Well thought through. Great answer. That's great. Well, we are entering the last lap. I'm going to fire off some kind of lightning round questions here for some short, quick blips of that Willys Jeep throttle. So here we go. What's one of your personal habits, Lenny, that you believe has contributed to your many successes?
Setting goals and strategic planning.
Yeah, very important.
I think those two things right there really are a vital part of where I'm going. If you don't know what you're going to do or how you're going to get there, you're just going to stand still.
Yep. Yes, for sure. Now, how about if I could arrange for you to have a drink or a meal with anyone in the automotive industry, living or deceased? Who would it be?
Oh, I saw this on the questions, and I think, it's going to be Nicholas. I'm going to mess up his last name, but Nicholas Cognet. He did the first steam motor, so he did a tractor.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, in the 1770s. Because I want to know what he was thinking with the steam. I know it was trains and that was happening and the steam power, but just kind of all the cool things that was going on and just what an interesting mind he must have had. And being able to just pick that brain of what he was trying to do. And I think it would be really cool and fascinating to have that conversation with him.
It's pretty cool, Lenny, because you're the first person to mention his name. No one's ever mentioned his name in 1,645 guests here. So that's pretty cool. Unique individual. And I like the reasons why. You want to kind of figure out what was he thinking and why was he doing what he was doing. That would be pretty cool. Now, how about the best automotive advice someone else has ever offered you? What would that be?
If you wait for the idiot light to come on, you've already done it. You've already broken it.
You're a confirmed idiot. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's for sure.
So take the time to go over your car each time you get gas.
Yeah.
Listen to it, look it over, and get the oil changed and the tune-ups before. It's not bad to do it early, but it's bad to do it late.
Oh, absolutely. You think back to the old days when the guy would come out and check all that for you, and all that's long gone. And again, these cars these days are so bulletproof. The problem is they're almost too bulletproof, so you don't think about them until it's too late, and then they get really expensive to fix. Now, how about a resource, a go-to for you? Is there one you'd like to share?
Actually, yeah. It's going to be self-serving here. The San Diego Automotive Museum has the largest library on the West Coast of automotive memorabilia.
Whoa.
If you're looking for a way to, you want to know what the original paint is on, 1957 Chevy, we have the swatches here. If you have, you want to know what you're looking at a 1965 Corvette, and it's on the cover of some magazine. You want to see it. We probably got the magazine, and
wow,
you can take a look at it. We don't check our books out. We are registered to the Library of Congress, and you can look up all the books and come here and read them. As actually my second day here at the museum, a gentleman came in and he said his kids were over at SeaWorld and he didn't have any interest in being there. But he had learned that we had this library, and he happened to come on a day we were closed. So on my second day, I just said, you don't make it out here enough. I'll go in and let you in there.
Nice.
And got the books he wanted. He took the copies. We'll make copies for people. And very happy to get that stuff and learn a little bit about him.
Well, very nice. That was really kind of you. And now, how about a book? Is there a book that you've read you think our listeners would learn a lot from?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Good to Great. That's one of my favorite books. It's and then you've got to throw in the 5 love languages. I know they're management books, but if you really look at the essence of what those books are telling you, you don't need to be good at a lot of things, but if you choose to be great at just a few things, you're going to spend your energy into being funnel it more direct into something rather than spreading yourself out too thin.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Jim Collins, great book, Good to Great. Read that many years ago, gave my kids copies when they went off to college. And it's a book that I went back and referenced many times. Really, really a fantastic book about businesses and why some succeed and some fail, and tracks everything within them. Incredible amount of research done to produce that book. Absolutely great. And The Five Love Languages, another awesome book. I'll remind you, all you listeners, there's a great place on the Cars Yeah website called Guest Recommended Books, where all my inspiring automotive enthusiast guests' books are listed for quick, easy clicks to buy. There's probably over 1,700 books in there actually right now, because many guests list more than one book. So check it out on the Cars Yeah website, and all you do is go there, check one out, click it, you can buy it. It's easy. All right, Lenny, we're up to the checkered flag here. You may have already answered this question, but we'll see. I'm going to buy you a very cool collector car today, something fun to park in your garage, to drive down the coast or out into the hills. Well, maybe not today. You guys are having some horrible fires going on down there right now, aren't you?
Yeah, we've got some fires going now.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Probably keep it in the garage today.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I hope those things get put out, because, boy, this time of year, Southern California, even northern this year, it's just been another tough fire season. So I wish all of you well and safety to everybody, especially those brave firefighters that go in and do that. I don't know how they do it. Back to the fun, though. I'm going to buy you a cool collector car, but here are the rules. You can't sell it to buy a bunch of other toys with. Maybe you buy that GTO, you could buy a house on the cliffs in La Jolla and have a big garage with 10 other cars and have a lot of cash left over. Nah, that little trick's off the table. You have to drive it. I wanted to tick a lot of boxes for you, something fun. But here's the hard part. It's the only one cool collector car you can have. So you better choose wisely, my friend.
Yeah, it's not going to be a surprise here. I love the 64, and I'm dying for another one. I think where it's going to div you on this one is I had a 327 in my first one. I think I'm going to go with the bigger option on that one.
Oh, yeah.
And, try to get something with the 427 or maybe something a little bit bigger, customize it. But I got to tell you that car, and really I think a lot of the 60 cars, this holds true for. If you own one of them, you can transform them into different things.
Yeah.
They could be the driver, they could be the race car, they could be the cruise car. I mean, they could really do a lot. They're very versatile, and they can take on different personalities. And so if you were going to say I couldn't have an Impala after I got upset at you, I would stick to the 60s.
No, you can have an Impala. Well, let me ask you this. If you had your dream Impala, would it be something completely original? Would it be somewhat modified? You mentioned a race car. We won't say show car because I want you to drive it. Or would it be like something crazy? Like, I've had the Ring brothers on this show where they take these things and build monster cars out of them like you never believe. What would yours be like?
I like just the sleeper feel of things. Mm-hmm. I like people to I think that I'm not sure, and really piqued their interest. And so I'd probably do it without the badges, even though I'd like to have an SS. But I'd put modern gauges in it. I'd put the disc brakes on it. Definitely modernize the vehicle in terms of safety and the things in it. So I wouldn't have I don't need to have that true numbers matching and all that kind of stuff, which I know a lot of collectors will shame me for. But I really think that if I'm going to be driving it around, I've got 4 kids, so I want to make sure that they're going to be safe in there.
Wow.
But also I want to make sure if you pull up next to me at a red light and you're going to rev your motor on me, you're going to meet something you might not be expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of a resto mod.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. The great thing about cars is everybody loves whatever somebody else does as long as they like it. I always say don't shame somebody because they didn't do it the way you would do it. Give them some love because they love what they're doing. They're passionate about it, and they're caretakers of that vehicle for the next one. You have 4 kids? You've got a busy household. Yep,
I've got 4, all 10 and under, and all girls.
Gosh. Oh, 10 and under. Yeah, you're coming up on some very interesting years. I know this because I have a daughter too. Now she's growing up now, but my wife got me through those interesting early teen years when it comes to girls. So hey, you want to give them all a quick shout out? What are the names?
Oh, my oldest is Addison, and we've got Peyton. She's my 9-year-old. I've got Morgan. She's my 6-year-old, and my little booger butt, Brooklyn. She's 2. Actually, no, She's 3. Just turned 3 there.
Sorry, Brooklyn. Let's get that right.
Yeah, Brooklyn. And my wife, Fallon, definitely keeps me grounded with all of them. And, you know, we spend many times, many days, many hours at the softball field.
Yeah.
They're all into sports.
Cool.
So it's either softball, soccer, and Morgan's going to try to do some swimming.
Awesome.
And it was interesting. I had her come in when I got here. She, you know, Daddy, what do you do now? I work with cars. And so she came in and she saw the DeLorean. And here's a 6-year-old. And she goes, Daddy, what was that one car with the doors that go up? And I said, oh, that's the DeLorean. She's like, did you know that one's made of steel so it won't rust?
Yeah. There you go. Well, yeah.
So it's like, where did you learn that?
Yeah. Well, you know, she's got her name is a car, a Morgan. So maybe she'll be your next automotive enthusiast. Well, shout out to all your girls. Very special to have girls in your family for sure. Really proud of my daughter as well. Well, listeners, you can find everything that Lenny has shared here today on his show notes page. It's really easy to find the San Diego Automotive Museum. Just Google it. It'll pop right up. And if you're in the San Diego area, that's where you should go if you love automobiles. And if you're listening to this show, you love automobiles. Lenny, you've taken me on a fun ride. I've really enjoyed getting to know you better. Congratulations on your new role there. No doubt you'll have great success. Before I let you go, though, could you offer us one little parting piece of wisdom or guidance before you drive off into the sunset in that 64 Impala?
Yeah, like I tell my daughters, so don't be afraid to shoot for the moon. Because
Yep.
when you miss, you're going to land among the stars.
Absolutely. That's a great line. I love that. Lenny, thanks for being so generous today with your time and expertise and for sharing your experiences with our listeners. Until you and I talk again or I visit you in San Diego, I'll see you down the road.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Are you looking for a way to get your products or services into the ears of thousands of automotive enthusiasts around the globe? I can help. This is Mark Green here at Cars Yeah, and I'd be honored to be an influencer and ambassador for your brand in a unique and personal way. 5 days a week, thousands of subscribers and listeners enjoy the Cars Yeah podcast and website. Contact me today and I'll show you how at mark@carsyeah.com or connect with me through the Cars Yeah website at carsyeah.com. If you're listening to Cars Yeah, you've probably spent some time working on your favorite ride. But how confident are you working on your finances? You may be able to rebuild a fuel injection system, but can you decipher the details of a mutual fund? If you're like me, investments, insurance, annuities, budgeting, and other financial concepts may seem a bit daunting, but what if I told you there's a book that describes these subjects and more in an easy-to-read and a very humorous way? My friend Chris Kimball, CFP, a longtime sponsor and past guest here on Cars Yeah, has written that book, and it's titled The Saga of Ike and Penny, a couple's humorous journey through the confusing world of finance. It's a fun look at things you need to know, everything from investing to effective ways to get rid of credit card debt, and it's probably the only book on finance with a VMAX on the front cover and a classic Mini Cooper on the back. The book's available at Amazon for just $10, and this book will dramatically improve the direction of your financial future. I gave copies to each of my children. All securities are through Money Concepts Capital Corp. Christopher Kimball Financial Services is not affiliated with Money Concepts Capital Corp. Get your copy, The Saga of Ike and Penny, today.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.